This week on Now Here with Chris and Kell.
Drifter to Anchorage, drifter to Anchorage, drifter to Anchorage, and Chamela.
This morning, we are leaving Nuevo Vallarta, Paradise Village, and we are just packing up the boat now. Chris took down our sunshades, filling up our water tanks, getting everything cleaned up. The SV Drifter will be back into the wild once again.
Well, I think we're about ready to get underway, just polishing some fuel from one take to the other.
About ready to take off, taking out the last little bit of the trash. We decide to radio the Marina for some departure assistance.
Great, going back to 1-6, thank you.
Since we had help getting into our slip, we figured we'd take advantage of getting help out as well. However, it appeared just about everyone was out to lunch except for this lucky guy. Needless to say, we got sick of waiting. We've done this so many times, just the two of us. What could go wrong this time? Answer? Nothing. Absolutely no drama on that front today. This was a nice start to our passage. Now we just have to get out of the harbor. Chris mans the helm while I run around on deck and put away all our lines and fenders.
Do you notice anything different in here?
It sounds different. There's a low purr to the motor.
Yeah, it's way quieter. And I think it's because we put that pulley on the open end of the shaft. One big benefit, it is much quieter in here right now than it was before, which is cool.
Let's take a peek down there and I'll show you what that looks like.
I'm a little worried about how there seems to be a shimmy on that shaft in the front. We'll just have to keep our eye on that belt.
We continue to monitor the situation very closely.
But if that fails, it's not like things would like explode or anything. It would just mean that our water maker wouldn't work until we put another one on it. So it's not like the end of the world, but it's definitely something to be aware of.
Yeah, it's like the end of the world in a different way.
Chamela, here we come. We are underway, taking 10 knots right on the nose. That's the direction we're headed. That's pretty southwest. That means we're gonna have to motor until we can get around this corner, and then we have a nice beam reach, I hope. Hopefully we'll be able to put the sails up at some point. I'm excited. We got overnight, but it's an easy one. You go to bed, you wake up, you're there.
Now we bust out our fishing lines, because what the hell else are we gonna do for the next 12 hours? So far this season, we haven't had much luck. Maybe this passage will be different. I'm remaining optimistic. Now we wait.
Yep. Let me know when we start catching all the fish.
Okay, I'll be back here. This passage wasn't super eventful. We both took turns on watch and even managed to get a few naps in. We were approaching the end of the day and the sun was just starting its descent.
Should be a very attractive sunset tonight. About 20 minutes away from it. Yeah, really calm. I shouldn't say this out loud. I don't want to jinx it, but my goodness. We're still rolly, but beyond that, it's quite comfortable. I'm making some Cheetos mac and cheese, because not every night's a gourmet night. Although that stuff's pretty damn good if you haven't tried it. Kelly's awake. Just bopping it along.
Yep.
Down Pacific Mexico.
That's what we're doing.
Surprisingly calm.
This would be a good time to see a whale. Like way over there. Just gonna superimpose one.
It's officially Kelly's watch. Yep. We're enjoying the sunset. It's nice. This is nice. This is one of the nicer passages I think we've had.
Part of our wind-down routine is to reel everything in. Unfortunately, no luck on the fishing front today.
Reeling it in?
Yeah, dude, I must be using this milk lure wrong because you're supposed to just catch fish, 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 fish. I caught no fish. But what can you do? We'll try it again another day. And then the last thing that we've initiated in our setup is we can't keep ice in this cooler. It never stays for more than like a day or two. So what we do is before we leave, we fill it full of fresh water so you can dunk swimsuits and fishing gear and anything that's covered in salt water that you don't want to be. Just give it a plunge in the old Danny, the old Yeti cooler. You can prolong the life of all your stuff. All right, I think we're set up for night mode. I just got to get the radar up and running and turn down the display screen, and I'll be ready to take a nappy poo.
Go get to it, sir.
The sun went away and the moon came out, just as it was supposed to. Nothing too eventful that night. The next morning, dramatic colors filled the sky once again, and we could start to see our destination ahead. I think we timed this one perfectly. We didn't arrive in the dark, and now we'd have the whole day ahead of us to explore. Much like everywhere else we've been so far, not a whole lot of boats here to compete with, but there were some. Still plenty of space to do our thing though.
We're here, we made it.
We have.
That was great success.
So far, we don't know. We gotta let it marinate.
Okay. We're gonna let it marinate. And then, while that's happening, you're gonna do all your things.
Huh?
You're gonna do all your things while it's marinating.
What things?
You like enter in your data and do your little nerd report.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. What time did we kill it? 7:26, anchor down.
We hung out in the anchorage for a while, monitoring, or marinating, our anchor's holding. We weren't exactly sure how long we wanted to stay here for. Maybe befriending some other cruisers would impact that decision.
We need some friends, dude.
Well, let's see what I was going to call on the radio.
Okay, let's give this a go.
Drifter to anchorage, drifter to anchorage, drifter to anchorage, and Chamela. Drifter to Chamela anchorage. Is anyone out there?
All right. Okay, what are you up to today?
I'm just tired, man. Like, I got a few hours of sleep, what, like 3 maybe?
Yeah.
And it wasn't enough, so I'm just kind of like in a bit of a fog and a little punch drunk. Didn't sleep much last night, so I'm just gonna relax. This anchorage, it stays pretty calm most of the time, and then every once in a while you get that southwestern swell that comes along, and right now we're broad to it, so this is an excellent case for flopper stoppers. And if you need an audio representation of what's going on here, listen to the forks. Yeah, it must be picking up.
Yeah. More people leaving. We started out with 5 and now we're down to 3, but it'll be just 2.
So much for exploring today. We decided to rest up so we could make the most of tomorrow.
This morning we're gonna finally bust out the paddle boards and go paddling around. But then it seems a little sketchy. That's a pretty decent sized jellyfish, and right there is another one, and right there is another one. So a swim is definitely a bad idea this morning. I don't know how excited I am about a paddleboard. And this side of the boat has all the fish. Look at all these guys just hanging out. We got some great news. The jellyfish took off, so that's good. But now there's red tide. I don't know if this will come across. It looks pretty blue on my screen here, but that water is reddish. It's not horrendous, but it is, you know, like the stuff you wouldn't want to make water. Not that we can right yet, but we're so close. Or like go snorkeling or swimming. Anyway, these cans, they just accumulate. So I get my stomp buddy out here, wearing a man's shoe. Go! This morning I was up pumping up the paddle boards, so they're ready to go. Put my paddle in kayak mode because there's a lot of jellyfish down there. I don't think I'm gonna stand up. I don't need to fall in and then, you know, go through all of that. Jellyfish didn't kill you or just like really freaking hurt? I mean, Dory got stung and she didn't die. Let's keep swimming. There is, I'm officially on the board. Man, this is not like riding a bike.
I joined Chris on my paddleboard, and we both opted out of standing for the time being. Water was still pretty chilly and undesirable between the schools of jellyfish and nasty red tide. This was the first time we were able to use the paddleboards this season. Needless to say, we were a little rusty. As soon as the wind picked up and the waves started to chop, we headed back to the boat.
Well, that was a fun little paddle. We went over to this big rock and then along the coast all the way towards the open ocean, but we didn't decide to go out there. We're not that good on the paddle boards yet, especially since we wouldn't even stand up. Kelly's putting the laundry out.
Okay, now what?
Today we get to explore the town of Chamela. Not sure what to expect. Obviously we haven't been here before. Chris is putting the dinghy wheels on now and getting Paul all deployed. We are packed. Got my waterproof purse here. And yeah, should just be...
All right, babe, fire it up. We rode Paul into shore with his new wheels, and we were able to pull him to safety a whole lot easier than before.
Well, what do you want to do first? Do you want to walk along the beach or do you want to go inland a little bit?
You can go in a little bit. Right here.
Okay.
We started out and immediately realized we left our wallet back at the boat, which is hardly convenient to get to.
The one time you don't pester me and I have to go, yes, kitten, here, I have it. It's the one time I didn't grab it.
Yeah. You fancy a shower?
Do you think they're color-coded, or is it just opportunistic?
Oh, absolutely, they're color-coded.
Yeah, it makes sense, because there's only 2 blue ones and a bunch of red.
We continued our broke-ass moneyless tour through town, scouting things to do and try out later. The bay referred to as Chamela is actually Punta Pérula, with Chamela being the town across the bay from where we are anchored.
That was a fun little scouting mission. Now we're headed back to Drifter for the rest of the day. Gotta get out here with the wave action. A little dicey.
The surf always gets me a little nervous when we leave from the beach.
Nice job.
We did okay. I'm a little wet. Not in a good way. We've made it back and removed our wet pants. Doused them in fresh water and now they're drying on the back deck. That's what Kelly's doing right now. She's not wearing pants though, so I can't show you. Stowed the dinghy. I think Kelly's gonna do her thing and then hit the showers. And by her thing, I mean her workout. I will probably just be lazy, hang out in the back of the boat, and work on stupid crap.
The next day, we decided to venture into town again. But what should we bring this time?
We gotta remember to bring my wallet this time though, so we can pay
Yes.
for food and drink.
That is good. I will remind you.
Let's get ready and go.
Okay, let's go. Ready to receive?
Yep. Load me up. Trash.
Sad trash.
Real good.
One benefit to our scouting mission earlier was discovering the dock for the fishing pangas. This would be a nice alternative to a beach landing, especially at this hour. The downside is that it gets pretty shallow, and it's a narrow path with the depth required to pass through. So it's best to watch the tides very carefully and try to navigate in the daylight if you can. Getting back to the boat in the dark might be a little tricky.
There's a Coke bottle up ahead. Caught a big one.
We always keep our eyes peeled for trash, specifically bottles, because fishermen also use these types of bottles to mark their nets. That's not something we want to get caught up in. But no one would be net fishing here, so this is clearly just trash. We quickly arrived and started scouting for a place to tie off Paul. No idea if there were any rules here or assigned parking, so we just tried our best not to be annoying and block anyone from leaving or coming in. We use a bike lock to lock our outboard and dinghy together, and secure ourselves to the dock itself. Fingers crossed nobody touches Paul inappropriately while we're gone. First order of business, get rid of our trash.
All right, we've tied up. Let's see what's going on in town.
We wandered around a bit and found one of the only spots open. Didn't appear to be a whole lot going on in this sleepy town.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I ordered some white wine, and Chris, what did you get?
I got myself an Amstel Ultra.
Well, we did get an Ultra and a wine, so...
I mean, yours is wine, mine is beer, and not only is it beer, it says Ultra on the label, so they got pretty close.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm perfectly happy with this. Maybe it's just a testament to our time in Mexico that we get this, we're not surprised, and we're perfectly happy to drink it.
I think we've made it. But one thing we were definitely not happy with were the bugs. Specifically, those blood-sucking asshats known as mosquitoes.
There are like a million mosquitoes all over it. That is crazy.
Okay, well, this experience is over. Bottoms up, let's roll.
We got out of there, but not because it was gross. It's because of those mosquitoes. I've never seen that around this bag.
They like you.
Craps and waffles. Boom.
Now it looks like the town is livening up.
Excited little dogs. This must be a dog party.
We're not exactly sure what kind of party we stumbled into, but stuff was definitely happening.
As good as we had in Rosalia. Come on.
And the food carts were looking extremely delicious at this point, particularly the ones with bacon-wrapped hot dogs.
Yes, eso.
This is where Chris uses his best judgment regarding condiments. It's always a gamble in Mexico.
Alright, let's see how I did.
You don't need to put the whole thing in your mouth, dear.
The nacho cheese is cold.
Oh! I'm like hurting for you.
It's not that bad though.
You might have a friend. We've been in Mexico how long and we haven't had churros yet?
2 years, man. It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time. Tonight's the night.
Family, isn't it about time? That's a message from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Isn't it about time? From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Cool.
Let's get some churros.
All right.
Look at that.
Is it hot?
8 of these. No, I mean they're warm and feel good. 8 of these for 45 pesos, which is roughly $3. Oh, yo, this is fucking delicious. Warm, cinnamony,
Mm-hmm.
Kelly does like cinnamon.
I do. This is a real winner.
Done.
On our way back, we met some more dogs. We found most stray dogs in Mexico are very timid, but usually friendly. Some are not so friendly. Anyway,
We have arrived.
Yes.
And we're off. Can't see anything.
We're home.
We made it.
Tomorrow we leave and we head 8 nautical miles south. Hopefully, if not, this anchorage could be kind of crappy. We'll have to wait and see when we get there. And if not, we'll head further south to Tenochtitlan. But this place next is called Paradise. So we should probably stop there, I think.
Cheese ball.
All right.
Alright.
Let's pack it up and
Retire.
retire for the evening.
keep watching for this week's blooper reel, sponsored by our patrons.
But look at this cheeky guy.
He believes me, everybody. You caught that on film.
I'm tired. You can have it in a second. This thing won't turn on. I love meat. I love all kinds of meat, I think. Anyway, let's go check it out. Beef tartare. Ew. Hopefully it doesn't give us poison.
Today we get to explore the town of Chamela.
When I'm looking for a bikini laundry service, I want it to be tasteful and classy, and Kelly really nails it on both accounts. Kelly's bikini laundry service. You know, there's something completely unsatisfying about a meal like this.
What's that?
Doesn't have any meat in it. But for now, I'm gonna go take a nap because it's my turn.
Okay.
But first, I'm gonna eat that macaroni, and I added some tuna to it to make it even more trailer trash chic.
It's good.
It is good,
Yeah.
man. These
It's
are like
salt bomb, but it's good.
everything I make is a salt bomb.
Check it out. Flavor of salt.
Yep.